Welcome Aquarius, Dadici here from astrology.com.au. It's October 2020. This is the horoscope for those of you born under the sign of the water bearer. I'm going to activate the transits so you can see what's going on, and especially there because the first couple of days of the month we see that full moon taking place in your third house with a retrograde Mars. So all your communications, contracts, agreements, etc. are challenged. The retrogression for you is not a good retrograde planet, and it shows that you're having to do a really serious rethink on that. You noticed here, we've been talking about it for months and months throughout the whole of the year, throughout this COVID sort of pandemic drama. Your ruler was retrograde. Here we see now all three planets which were retrograde in conjunction with Saturn, your co-ruler, now moving forward. Your principal ruler Uranus is still running in retrogression, and both of these planets, if you notice at the bottom of the chart, have an impact on your domestic sphere. Certainly the full moon had something to say about your communication, but these two planets can throw some explosive energy at your domestic situation. Also too, you'll notice Mercury in the opposition to that Uranus. Mercury is one of your better planets, ruling your fifth house and the eighth house. Venus too is one of your better planets, ruling your ninth house. These are the triangular houses of your horoscope. And when they're moving in favourable areas of the horoscope, it is a particularly good thing. And you're going to see that later as we look at this Mercury moving into its stationary position on the 13th in your career sector. That's just great news for you. Good news, and you can accelerate and intensify your communication for new positions, for better positions within the organisation you're in. Because keep your eye here on, firstly, the contact of the moon. It's a darkening moon, pardon me, with Venus, the ruler of your luck and legal matters, moving here. Notice here the stationary position of Mercury. It's going to move retrograde there on the 15th, which is an empowering thing, even though it causes you to have to rethink your strategies. For you, Aquarius, it's not as difficult a planet as for many of the other star signs. And there, what I was holding out for, this new moon in the 9th house, and then bang, straight into the 10th house. So a whole new vista of opportunities opening up for you. You've got to make that happen for yourself, notwithstanding the 12th house placement of Saturn, notwithstanding the opposition aspect to Mercury. But that new moon does shift a lot of energy and gives you hope for a whole new series of events and circumstances in your working life. You see that Mercury is communication. It's also under the influence of this abrupt, progressive Uranus. Now that's your ruler, which is why most people born under Aquarius are independent in their thinking. They're unique individuals. But what that's telling me is that this month you can transpose that uniqueness, and you need not follow the traditional approach you've been following in your work. In fact, you've got to think outside the square if you want to make things happen for you right now. That is the important meaning of this, and that's going to happen particularly. Have a look at the blue line that will form here to Mercury. There it is, there on the 25th, at the same time as the Sun moving into your 10th house. So what that tells us is definitely an opportunity for you in the last week or so of the month to stake your claim for a better position in your work. It really is about improvement of your work, improvement of your status, improvement of your self-esteem, because this is what the 10th house is all about. You notice also some good aspects there when the moon makes contact with idealistic Neptune in your finance sector. This placement of the Sun, which is ruling your marital affairs and business partnerships, is also nicely placed up here in the 10th house. This can show some improvement and betterment of the circumstances for your spouse or partner as well. If they happen to be working, especially if they're independent, there's a strong connection here between marriage and work. You may end up doing some work with your partner, helping each other and mutually benefiting each other in terms of your professional engagements. Notice also at the end of the month, the two other favourable planets for you, Mercury retrograde moving into the 9th house, while Venus moves into this 9th house. This activates one of the luckier parts of your horoscope, but that's got more to do with spirituality, higher educational pursuits, expanding your mind and developing those inner resources that are going to be very, very important for you in the coming 6 to 8 months. Hope that's helped. There's more, but wait, there's more. You also get the set of knives at astrology.com.au. Now, seriously, we have the daily, monthly, weekly and yearly readings there for you to give you a bit more insight into what's going on for you this month and in a contextualized way. So I hope you'll join me there. There's a lot of free readings for you as well. Subscribe while you're here, click, and drop me a line. Love to hear from you. See you next month. Bye-bye.